WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So I did a bit of work between episodes. One of them was this contraption. I was actually recording myself making it. However, it was such a simple thing and there wasn't really much explanation needed that I didn't really do much. So, if we look at it, this is just an item tesseract that is going to the smeltery output, or rather the smeltery input, which is over there. So what all of these export buses, there's not really many, they have a bunch of regular full-size dusts that they attempt to periodically shove into this tesseract to send it to the smeltery input. Now the only reason we have this system is because over there we pull out the big dusts as well. So we don't only take the tiny dust. If it was just the tiny dust, everything would be happy and merry and wonderful and etc. because that's handled by the little system we made yesterday. However, not yesterday, the day before. It's yesterday for me, not yesterday for you. Let's go with that. But say if we shove iron in here, it's going to get the iron dust, and yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. So, just made that simple little system, not much needed. However, we're going to go for the next part, which will be automating our bauxite, rather our titanium production via bauxite. So we're going to need another industrial electrolyzer. Now you can see I shoved a bunch of ruby dust in here and automated it via having ruby dust continually shoved up in here. And the reason we did that was to make a bunch of chrome. If we check not that, how much rubies we have like 3 stacks of rubies left. However, if we check the chrome, we have 47 chrome here. That's a lot of chrome. However, that's not all that we're going to be doing. We're going to need to work a bit more to get everything else down. So let's grab an industrial electrolyzer and our buses. Let's just grab 2 of those and... Hey, wait, is it that one that I need? No, I need the other ones. We're going to need to grab... let's go with 10 of these. It's not like it matters too much. We'll start with 2, and then with that, we're going to want to get our electrolyzer. 2? Yeah, why not? 2. 2's good. 3's company, 4's a crowd, 5's awesome, 6 I don't know. Okay, so now we're just going to need to get our bus going. So let's hit the dusty trail with our bus. So there, and we're going to need there. That was simple. And all we need are tin and bauxite to get this system going. Not tin, but the cells. And we have a not a bad influx of cells, though. And we also have a bunch of lithium. I don't know what I'm going to do with the lithium. However, we also have a bunch of silicon cells. We might want to make an industrial blast furnace just for the silicon cells. Maybe an industrial blast furnace for every single type of blastable thing, and just have it continuously go and go and go. That means we wouldn't need a red power system to handle it by just crafting. We can just work on it by other stuff. Okay, so we have 939 bauxite. This pretty much was from our quarry working, I don't know, a third of the way? And that's pretty dang impressive, how much bauxite is in a forest biome. I'm thinking of perhaps making a Mistcraft age for all of the forest stuff. So let's get that, and then we'll have cells. That was quick. It's kind of like Staples. So easy, you wouldn't even know it. So what I'm thinking is that I'll probably want to have some sort of Mistcraft age where we just get a lot, Is it a centrifuge that I need? Let's see. I might as well actually check what it's used for before. Electrolyzer. Cells, bauxite. Don't you bloody say anything. There we go. Now we actually have energy and we'll be able to get the bauxite. So I'm thinking of having 2 separate Mistcraft worlds other than this one. Sorry, ages, I believe they're actually called. 2 separate ones. So we have a forest as well as a desert. The forest for the bauxite, that'll be for our production of titanium, and the desert for our chrome via rubies. I think that's all we really need to do. So I'm thinking we'll just go and gather a bit more rubies. Probably actually, let's leave 49 just in case we need it for some higher calling. We'll just manually throw it in the rotary macerator, and there are some other things that will probably be a good idea to create. However, we need to figure out what they are. Ah, yes, we got also a bunch of dark ashes that I think would be a good idea to get rid of and turn them into ashes and slag. The slag's not too useful, however, the ashes are pretty useful, so we just need to get a centrifuge and work on that. So, centrifuge here. Now, the reason we want to get the ashes is because, well, it's useful for carbon. Carbon is one of the main chemicals that we are going to need to work heavily on if we're going to be productive in any way, shape, or form. And it's used in a bunch of interesting chemicals like glycerol, I believe it is. Let's see, glycerol. Yeah, we create glycerol. It's C3H5N3O9. So that's just saying what it requires. It needs nitrocarbons and water. Water is easy enough to make. The nitrocarbons, however, requires carbon cells and nitrogen cells. We need 3 of them for 6 of those. So if we get the ratio, we need 1 of those for 2 of those. That means 1.5 carbon cells for 6 glycerol cells. I think that's a good enough ratio, 4 to 1. And glycerol is going to be useful for making a much better fuel. However, we will need to get this going at a much better operational capacity. Seeing as this is low voltage and this is low voltage, we don't really need to worry about them intersecting as long as it doesn't intersect with a power line instead. So if we take this out, this will continue going. Good. And our platinum's almost done. We're going to keep some of the platinum dust because frankly it will probably be useful later on. But let's get this here, and we're going to need to dig a channel for all of the interfaces that we're going to need on this. I'm going to grab a few more ME wires and route them in probably a very ugly looking track. Actually, I'm going to route them underneath, and then I'll be back once I have the cable down. Yay! So, here we go. Now, what does it actually need? If we check the usage, it does not actually require any cells, if I am correct. Therefore, if we just shove this full of some nice and handy-dandy little dark ashes, like so, we should be okay. Now, single items, that'll probably be okay. I don't really need much in the way of wizardry. This might need... Actually, that's probably not going to need anything. We'll just leave that going for fun. And this will have filled with dark ashes. We have a lot of dark ashes, by the way. But let's not get into that. We're going to have a bunch of ashes and slag. The slag we're probably not going to use much of. However, the ashes are useful to make some carbon cells. That will require empty cells, but it also makes the carbon. Haha! Carbon! Carbonator! Carbonation? Carbidoo? Carbidie. Okay, let's put something on top of here so it doesn't actually continue too much, because I think I have enough of that already. But I guess we're just gonna have to go with that anyways. Okay, so let's put one more electrolyzer down here. This is in fact actually all that this transformer can handle. So one there, and we're just going to need to expand this slightly just by doing this. Okay, this will require a cell. Do I have a cell on me? Thankfully I do. So here, let's actually get this. Okay, always active, and we'll want cells here. And then for this, we're going to need that, and then for this, we're going to need ash. So, and also slag. Does slag have any other use other than just not putting in the slag furnace? However, it's required. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be normally. I'm pretty sure. No, I think it's only rich slag. By the way, I made another reactor to hook up to my UU matter fabricator, and the reason for that is because I had the materials and it's going to be a lot faster. So let's get our ash from here. We already have 8 ash. This will create probably all the carbon cells that we're going to need, and we should be good for it. So let's see. We won't need to craft it, so let's go like that and throw them in like that. It'll take 2 per, and it'll make them rather quickly, so this, if there is such a bottleneck, will be the bottleneck of the system. Though we don't need to worry too much about that, and it is working pretty well. We are still getting a lot of bauxite, and we're going to need to fill in these holes, even though it's not the same material that we used before. I think it will do justly. And there we go. So this system's going to continually go, and I think we'll be okay for it. We have one extra ME cable, but I suppose that will be fine for the... Okay, okay, you got me. I'm a cheapskate. Happy? Happy? I can move that over. Okay, I'm fine. Moment over, moment's over. Okay, so you may have remembered that gunpowder was a bit of an issue last episode, but I think I figured out a way to get it. If we check these recipes, 3 gunpowder, and we can use coal dust with sulfur, and we can use saltpeter, or we can use niter. Niter, you can see, we can use a pulverizer with sandstone and get a 10% chance of getting niter. Or we could use saltpeter ore, but that's something else entirely. So what I'm thinking of doing is just setting up a simple system so that we can get as much niter as we possibly can. All it's going to require is 2 sandstone per chance of getting it. And that's only going to require a pulverizer, if I am not mistaken. And we already have a pulverizer to get cobblestone into sand, so that will be good. We're not going to lose much sand. So let's get that going. Do we have a pulverizer? I think we might have some spare pulverizers back at the base. Let me check. Haha! We in fact actually managed to have 2 of them. So 2 simple little, where did you, how the, what? Oh my goodness. We in fact have 2, if I can actually continue this time, 2 of the fancy little systems. So we have, 2 pulverizers. Yes, that's it. I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here, and we're going to set these up accordingly. We're going to need to get that out of the way, probably that as well. But let's see, input obviously into the top. We're going to want to be able to pull out the bottom. The rest of them can obviously go to hell. And the reason we want the second pulverizer is not so that we're faster directly by just, pumping in more and more sandstone to get the system. The reason we have 2 is because we're going to run out of sand if we are even just focusing on that. Ah, my puppy wanted to make an appearance in my recordings. Ah, that's so cute. Okay, so let's get these level emitters down. First of all, let's see, 1 there. We're gonna need to pull the stuff out of here as well. And as I was saying, the reason is because, well, we're going to be consuming 2 sand per, and with 2 sand per taken out, that means that's 2 less sand for it to go back into the system. And since we need 4 sand for it, it just becomes a little annoying to get everything going. Okay, so import buses are correct. We just need the level emitters to be calibrated with the the sand requirement for this one. We need to get some sand. Sand! I think we got some sand over here. And we'll just set that for here. Right? Right. Level emitter. Sand. I believe this is 512. Good. And we'll set this up so that we throw all the cobble in here. And of course it decides to choose a different way than I wanted it to. Cobble. Yep. So this will start throwing some cobble into here as soon as it's all finished. However, there's also this, which is going to need to create and craft sandstone. And then we'll have hopefully all the niter that we can ever dream of having. I don't think that's necessary, but oh well. Okay, so connect. There we go. So cobblestone will go into here, and do you know what would be good to have on here? Actual power. Wow. Okay, so now we're starting to pulverize some sandstone. It's going to take a while to speed up appropriately, but then it should take the sand out of here. It's not taking the sand out of here. Oh, derp. Derp, derp, derp. Let's set this to a dummy thing, which is going to be sandstone for now until we get the first piece of niter out. Assuming it's actually... Ah, what the... We don't have that much sandstone, so I don't know why it's... Oh, derp. Why are you such a derp? I have no idea. It's just within my very nature. Okay, so now that we're actually getting all of this out of here, we're just going to have to wait for our first piece of niter. Then we can make the next recipe, which is going to be sulfur. And we only have... actually, we don't have... we're running out of sulfur. How are we running out of sulfur? We're going to have to get some more sphalerite to get some more sulfur, I'm thinking. Yeah, that might be the case. So, in fact, let's take off, or rather turn off the system that's requiring the sulfur. Let's just get more sphalerite, actually. In fact, we can probably set up a quarry in the nether as well, because I'm sure that there are some ores in the nether that will be of use to us. Anyways, let's get some reference pieces, then we'll be able to get, once we get our first niter, we'll be able to start crafting our own gunpowder and automate our industrial TNT solution. Da, 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 da. Oh, it's actually going to require 2 niter. That's a shame. That's going to take a bit longer than I imagined. However, I suppose it is good enough. Better than 2 sulfur currently. Okay, so now we have gunpowder as one of the items that we can craft. However, we don't have enough niter really to craft too much gunpowder. It's going to require the coal dust, and etc. for it to work, but that's an easy enough thing to craft. So what I'm thinking, and I'm gonna try to voice it as much as I can. By the way, this is a simple system that I thought of when we have no mercury whatsoever. Obviously, it's going to be annoying if we can't process anything whatsoever. So I set this up so that if this thing cannot accept anything, i.e. if it's full, it'll just go along like this and go into the regular grinder track. Now that's assuming that nothing horrible has happened, which we're going to have to see. Let's see, nothing horrible has happened in here, and I think all of this can actually be processed. It's just that this thing is horrendously full, which is kind of bad indeed. So what was I thinking of? Cupcakes? Cupcakes, yes, that's definitely what I was thinking of. Okay, so I'm gonna let the niter thing grow a bit, expoundify, and etc. And also, now that I think of it, I'm gonna set up another pulverizer for flint. And this will give us all the flint that we're going to need for the system. Sorry, the flint dust that we're going to need for the system. I think that'll be an easy enough thing to create, so I don't think that will actually require any sort of viewing. You don't need to see how boring that'll be, but I'll be right back in any case. So there's only really a few things left to complete to finally automate one of those implosion pressers. Not complete automation. Automate the creation of the industrial TNT that will be required to kick some serious butt. That's what I'm talking about. So that's only going to require some flint dust that we're auto-compiling using that little system, not that system, that system over there. I'm also auto-compiling some titanium dust from that. So if we check, we have some 8 extra titanium that we've already created using our bauxite system. So what are we going to require? We're going to require some TNT carts. What? What? How the heck did we get TNT carts? Okay. I'm guessing we got that through not a stronghold, but that is very interesting. Okay, so let's make one piece of TNT. We're going to need the flint dust as well as a pattern. I think you can sense the pattern here. And then we'll just quickly make a simple pattern with our flint dust as well as that, and that'll make 5 industrial TNT and create, so we should have 64 in the system at all times. So let's throw this into here, throw this extra TNT into here, as well as that. Now we might be able to make the industrial TNT now. Let's make one piece. And we have it. Okay, so there we go. Sorry for the glitch if you saw it. If not, what glitch? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so we're just going to need that. And now the only thing left to do is throw the industrial TNT into here. That'll just require bringing our ME stuff over here. So the bang comes from there, and the boom goes into here. Haha. Up. There we go. And I also saw some dark ashes in there, so this actually works out well. Where's my ME cables? Cables, oh cables, where are you? ME cables. Huh. Could've oh, there you are. Ha! Ha ha! I am such a noob. I usually reserve that slot for all of my torches, but considering I haven't been carrying around that many torches lately, I guess it's understandable of why I am such a moron. Okay, so like that, and we might as well be consistent in how we're bringing this across. Not like that. Ha! And then there, and finally connect you up. Now the only thing left to do is set this so that it also crafts the single items. And if we look into it, you should start getting a bit more industrial TNT in here. That's odd. That's odd. That's very odd. We are importing it into the correct side. That is correct. So why are we not getting the industrial TNT that is already in the system? Are we at peak energy capacity? That can't be. Let's check. Okay, our energy is very high, however, is not at its peak, so we have to check the ITNT. We have 4 ITNT in there. So unless we chose the wrong item to throw in there, which is a possibility actually, a possibility however is unlikely. Dang, okay, so this won't import into there. That's kind of sucky actually. Kind of sucky. Does it work on the other side, however? We might as well test that. Let's take that off and put some in there. Hey, there. And we're going to need to put it into here. So, craft as well, and we want that. So if we quickly run over to here and throw these back in, it should have been taken. Okay, now it's getting taken. However, it wasn't taken in the other one. I'm not too sure what the reasoning for that is. However, I guess it doesn't really matter, seeing as it is working now. And the items are getting siphoned out. Okay, so this system is working. All that we really need to do, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, is to set one of those, make this craft iridium. Make this automatically craft iridium, or at least iridium plates on demand. But that'll just require a lot of industrial TNT that we're going to need to work up on, so that will take some time. But at least we have an easy enough way to make iridium now, or at least the iridium plates. Now, one of the final things that we're going to need to do to pretty much gateway into the next stage of our GregTech advancement is to make the data control circuits. Now that will require data storage circuits, or what we could do conceivably is use diamond AND gates and diamond ATARCIC gates, which is quite a bit expensive considering what we are at right now in our advancement. So what I'm thinking we're going to need to do probably is go and gather a lot of olivine from our overworld, not the overworld, but the stronghold. Here's the stronghold. We have it on. So let's get a book, and then let's start mining a bit of olivine. Okay, we're a bit better prepared than last time we were in here, though I don't think it'd be a good idea to attempt to kill the Ender Dragon. We got our linking book in hand just in case we need to make an emergency stop. So, olivine. Olivine. Our olivine is it only on the asteroids? If so, that was close. If so, that could be a bit of a problem, seeing as I'm not really near any sort of asteroid right now. Let's get out of range, then see on our mini-map, or rather our regular map, where the closest one is. Over there, right? Oh my god. Ha! Take that, jerk face. Jerk face, face of jerkness, jerkitude, jerkalicious. Draconian battle sign? Okay, he's out of range. Okay, so let's see, where is our olivine? Up? I suppose it's up. Ah, I forgot to charge my jetpack. Ah, this isn't good. This isn't good. So where are you? There you are. Are you just out of range? Bep. Oh, you're just out of range. That's sucky. However, you're not out of range. Assuming I can actually make you. And there's none there. Oh, yes, there is. There's some over there. There's some over there. This is stupid, Wade. This is stupid. And you have almost none whatsoever. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, so at least the dragon's not within range, and we can get some olivine. And it is in very short supply. So the reason we're going for olivine is because, well, emeralds are a little difficult. I don't know if you've noticed that. They're a little difficult to find. So by going with olivine, assuming we don't overshoot it at all, we can get 2 emerald, or rather 1 emerald per 2 ore. And I think this is also one of those things that drops when you attempt to mine it. Let's see. Let's go over here and mine it. Dang it, it dropped the ore, not the... sorry, it didn't drop the ore, and it fell into the void. So let's slowly get some of this, making sure not to fall or stare at too many Endermen, because for some reason they don't like their photo taken. Then we'll be okay. We're going to definitely need to make a lot more trips to the end to get some more of this stuff, the emerald dust. However, there is another possibility. Instead of these, we could work on getting a good laser table setup and see how fast, like, 20 or so lasers will make on this. Now, let's check our diamond supply. 63 diamonds we have. Iron, a lot. And gold, not as much, which is kind of obvious. Gold dust. I guess this stuff I have not added to our little machine over here. So, what that means is that let's throw this into the circuit. Hey, I don't think I want that to happen. Let's throw this into the matter assembly chamber. We're going to need a bigger one soon. Something tells me. Not that. There we go. We can make 4 of those by throwing in these and 1 of these. And let's just make 1 of these? Yeah, 1 of these. And let's see. Data. Of course, it makes 4 of them, but it doesn't matter. So the final one that we're going to need to add for this is to just simply... That is worrisome. Data control? Okay, good. I thought I just made an oops for a second and didn't need to make those. Okay, so Let's make that, and now we can make data control circuits, and this will be for the machine blocks. What I'm thinking of doing is going to make the distillation tower and see if it's even worth the effort into making the distillation tower. It's going to require a lot of chrome, so that's why I am currently cooking up the remainder of my chrome, though I do have enough probably to work on some other parts of it. So that means we're going to need 4 craftings of these, so that means another trip. But next time I'm thinking we're probably going to work on some lasers so we can, round off everything and actually use some of this energy that we're wasting. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EE Power. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Moving on up in the world, WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.